Let's piss some people off.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to I Am Spice, the podcast. This is our fourth episode. Woo! We're gonna be talking about what you guys are always asking me about: how to be unique and how to be authentic, and what does it take to be yourself. And I've been trying to decipher how to bring this podcast, this episode to you guys, because I wish I could just compress everything and put it under one episode. But I know this takes a lot of, talking through and breaking it down and going to different phases so we could be on the same page. We're going to be talking about how to become yourself, how to be empowered, how not to be afraid of what society says, the reality on how many people are the true selves, and the reality of how many people are not. This statistics it shocked me. I honestly didn't know it was going to be this much. And the title of this episode is called "The Real Me Isn't New. You Just Never Knew Me." The real me, who I was raised to be, how I was raised, under the norms that I was raised, is not the real me. So you never knew me. I was pushed to be this person, and we all are. If you come to think about, from religion, from the way we behave, how we talk, how we move, our values, our morals, everything come from how we're raised and how we're wired since we're a baby. And the changes and the chaos or the trauma or the good things that happen, not only bad but good things as well. So when people tell me, you have changed so much, because they've noticed something in me different that when before how I was raised, I'm like, thank God, because I was meant to. What happened to me when I was 24 years old, that wasn't random. That was a decision I made with the purpose of really getting to know myself. It was messy, it was hard, but the moment I made that decision, I never went back. And I stopped living for everybody else, and I stopped chasing approval. Even though deep inside, I never wanted approval of anything. I was just raised to live a certain way, and being a minor, I had very limited ways on how I could express myself, because whatever I would say was not taken into consideration because I was a minor. Like, allegedly, I didn't know what I was talking about. As per my parents at the time, if I would have said anything or wanted anything, I didn't know anything because I was not of age. Yet, I was not of age, but I was allowed to marry to someone that was 7 years older than me. That's a whole nother story. When I decided at 24 years old to start being myself, it all started with redefining my outer shell, because I've always been the same person on the inside. I've gone through different emotional experiences, but in my core, I'm still that nerdy, caring, nurturing person that I've always been. Has that been shaped with experiences and everything that I've gone through in life, definitely. So that for me, and also like I started getting tattoos. Like my hair changed from like I had it long, I cut it up to a bob, then I started experimenting with colors, and until at one time I landed on my signature pixie haircut, which I love, and that goes perfectly well, I think, with my face. That's how I started experimenting for when I started, and that's when my family started. Oh my God, what is she doing? She's rebelling. She is getting a divorce. She's rebelling. And the people that have a small mind would say she went crazy. Oh my God, that girl, she's so lost. The ones that are gonna be on the religion side is gonna be, oh my God, uh, she's lost. She doesn't know what you're doing. She doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't know, and it's true. Like in a sense, it's true. Like when we start experimenting, the unknown, we feel lost. We don't know whether we're gonna like it or not. We are along for the ride, but we're willing to experiment. And if we didn't like it, we didn't like it. And if I like it, I like it. That's how I used to run things all the time. So, as a question to you guys, and I want you to ask yourselves these questions: has anyone ever told you you've changed? But deep down, you finally feel like, no, this is me. This is like, I didn't change. This is me. And a lot of people stay stuck in the norms because approval feels safer than authenticity. They want approval, and doing what's not normal to other people causes confusion. Therefore, let me not, get anyone confused, and let me just be what they want me to be, so that way I'll just keep the peace. Because that's how we are raised. We're taught that fitting in equals survival. If you do all of these things, it doesn't matter how crazy they sound, depending on the family, that means survival under that environment. So it's like living on a perfectly decorated prison and calling it your home. It's a prison. It's like bedazzling a prison and living in there and call it a home. That is not freedom. So how many of you ever played small just to fit in? Like you just like shrink yourself, and you don't allow yourself to talk, to have an opinion, to have a voice, because you want to fit in so bad. And have you hidden yourself, or part of yourself, to avoid being judged? For example, any hobby you like, the way you, I don't know, dreams, fantasies, whatever it is about you, you feel ashamed and you don't want people to judge you. But do you really need that? Ask yourself that. Do you need that in order to survive? Do you need somebody else's approval in order to be able to function and to be yourself? Because as a whole, you are one. So you should take care of yourself as one. For years, I did do everything my parents told me to do. I didn't have a break. I didn't have like an option. It was, I do whatever they say because I lived under the roof and I was a minor. So I followed the rules out of fear, being an obedient daughter. As to what that meant was following the religion. Basically, it was following the religion. Everything was based around the religion. No makeup, no long hair, no nails, no nothing. No pants. It was long shirts, long skirts. You had to cover yourself completely. And that was my life. But did I follow that all the way through? Like, if I was scared of my parents, I didn't. I know that a lot of people are raised like this and they're like super scared of their parents. But my parents, they were strict, but I still did what I wanted to do behind their backs. I used to take dancing classes. I used to dance. I used to be in dance competitions. I was trying to survive being as myself behind their backs, doing things that as to them was bad because it was going against our religions, but to me it just felt like freedom. It just felt like me. So I understand there's a lot of people that don't even dare to do a thing, but me, I did go against the things, some of the things that my parents told me not to do. You have to understand that the moment that you decide to be yourself, that is gonna be a very hard process. It's gonna hurt. What is gonna cost you? What is gonna cost you to break free? It's gonna hurt. People will talk. You lose friends or even family. But then what you gain is yourself. You know, it's like being a butterfly mid transformation and everyone keeps trying to shove you back into your cocoon. What are you gonna do? And I know a lot have tried, and this is what happens. They never do, because once they try, they get pushed back and they just don't go through with the transformation. It's messy. It hurts. You're gonna be misunderstood. They're gonna say, oh, she changed. She's going crazy. She is being rebellious. She's not being herself. Close-minded people will look at you this way. And other people are gonna become envious of you doing the things that they do not dare to do. So there are different way of thoughts about when you change and you start becoming yourself or trying to step into who you really are and your soul is telling you to be. You're gonna be judged, you're gonna be misunderstood, not because you're wrong. It's because you're brave. And you're gonna be judged not because you're a mess, but because you're free. For example, me, when I started to change and then I started to I've always been into fashion. I love, dressing apart. So once I had a certain type of way of dressing, and I would see people that I hadn't seen in a long time, and they would see me and they're like shocked, like, because it was a total extreme change, a different glow up. They would be like, oh my god, like tattoos, piercing, short hair, pants, or looking sexy compared to I look like a broom, honestly. So people were just confused as to, whoa, what happened here? And they're either confused or small-minded. And like I said before, there's a lot of people that are not gonna like the change that you make because they are afraid to do so, and they want so bad, and they're like, I wish I was like her. I wish I was like him, to be able to change and to do everything that she's doing. Look at her, like, oh, I hate her. That's secretly hate, and I have faced that myself, believe it or not. And all this time, I know this person has been talking about me, and I know this person was talking behind my back. And one day, I was having a conversation with this person about something personal, which I never thought I was going to be talking with this person about that. And she was asking me about, and this is a relative older than me, and I always ask myself, what have I done to her that she's talking so much behind my back? I don't understand what I've done to her. Like, I've never done anything to her for her to be talking about me. And it so happened that that vulnerable moment that we were talking at that time, she told me this, and this felt like a total slap. She was like, you know what? I wish I was like you. And I was on the other line of the phone. I was like, it shocked me. I was like, okay, say more. And she was like, yes, because you just do whatever the fuck you want and you don't give a fuck. And I'm here like, okay. And a lot of things started clicking to me. That's when I was like, now I know. So this is what it means. She is talking about me behind my back and all of this because she is envious of who I am. So even though I knew I hadn't done anything, that was the confirmation that she was the issue. It wasn't me. Is that I am the symbol of something that she wants to be so bad but doesn't dare to. And she even dared to tell me, oh, but I can't be like you because I was raised different. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I was raised even more strict than you were. And look at me. It's just that I decided not to be that person. I decided to stay true to myself all the way through. And at first, when you just start changing and you start doing things different, it's scary. It feels unfamiliar and it's lonely. And you're gonna want to go back and you're gonna want to be like, no, but I want all these people in my life. Oh, I want them to be with me. If I do what I want to do, that is me and just me only, there's other people that I love. They're not coming because they don't want to. They don't understand who I'm becoming. And that is when you need to ask yourself, do you want to keep on going and really know who you are? Do you really want people that only will want you or love you only if you are the person that they expect you to? Does that make you happy? Or do you rather lose them for having your peace of mind, that knowing that you are your true self and the people that surround you would be only the people that truly love you and that respect what you're going through and the process that you're going through and the changes that are going through your life? In my case, becoming myself meant going against what I was taught in the sense of religion mostly. That was the biggest part of all. And still, once I was 24, that's what I decided. Did I feel guilty a lot of times because I thought I was really like, everything was just like, you're gonna go to hell. You dress like this, you're gonna look like this. You're not supposed to dress like this. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to go here. Women don't do this. And then the societal norms are of what a woman should really or shouldn't do. When you have kids and you're a mom and you're a single mom, oh, single moms don't go out to party. If I didn't even have my kids with me, they were with their dad, of course I can go party. There was a lot that I have to unwire from, that I'm not gonna lie, that I felt guilty for, without even, now that I look back, I'm like, girl, please. Things that I used to feel guilty for doing, because those were things that were wired into my brain as part of the shaming that society does on people. If you do this, oh, this is bad. Oh, you're a bad person. Oh, you're this. So it's shaming. And I had to overcome that because I decided to be myself. Am I a Pentecostal Christian like I was raised? No, I am not. Did I raise my kids like that? No, I didn't. I do talk to him about religion and what it entails, but I never hammered anything into my kids' lives because I want them to choose whatever they want to do and give them options of there's so many religions out there. Go explore and find the one that makes you happy and makes you peaceful. Because when it comes to that, there's not a right or wrong for that. That's what I truly believe. Am I very spiritual? Yes, I'm a very spiritual person. But when it comes to religion, don't talk to me about it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I have nothing against God. There's a higher power. There's the universe. There's whatever. There's 1,000 things. Do I have the respect for it? Yes, I do. But don't talk to me about I have to raise my kids under a certain, religion, because that's not true. Another excuse under the books talking about our kids is, oh, I can't just be me. I can't just be like whatever I want. Look at her, she's crazy. She has short hair. Look at her nails. They look like weapons. She has a whole bunch of tattoos. She looks like a tabloid. I can't just be like that because I have kids, because my kids are going to say, what example am I bringing to my kids? That's a good question. Because how my kids see me is exactly how I want them to be as people. Because they see a mom that is unapologetic, that she's herself. I am not afraid to tell my kids all the fuck ups I've done in my life. They know about them. Every single one, they know about them. Why? Because my job as a mom is to show my kids, hey, this is how I've lived. Show them the good and show them the bad. I tried this worked. I tried this didn't work. Now, of course, they're also going to learn on their terms, but be real with your kids. Because your job is not to show up perfect. It's for your kids to know that you're always going to be real with them. That you're going to keep it 100% with them. You don't have to sugarcoat stuff with your kids. Of course, it all depends on their age and their questions. But what is the reward of being real? Of being you with your kids? It's that your kids will always choose you. Because they see you for who you are. When you teach your kids that we're humans and that yes, we have expectations and you're supposed to do this and this and that, and there's certain things that we're supposed to follow as human beings. There are common laws and rules that we must follow. But nobody gets to tell me who I came to be, who I am supposed to be as a wife, who I'm supposed to act as a 44 to 45-year-old mama for. That I shouldn't be dressing like this. You shouldn't be wearing this. Oh, look at the makeup. Nobody decides that. I do. I decide that. Therefore, the way I show up for my kids and I show up to my kids, it's a lot. You're teaching them a lot. Do you want them to be real? Or do you want them living up to societal expectations as well and being miserable? That's what you need to ask yourself. Another thing that we don't talk about enough is the fact that not everybody that decides to change or become the best version of themselves or their true selves have this awakening at the same time. Some people are way younger in their teen years. I was when I was 24 and I was very aware of what I was doing. I know someone personally that in his 40s decided to become himself. And when he would talk to me, he would tell me, I know that I'm changing. I know that I'm changing a lot. And seeing him living for so many years alive, because there were signs. He used to play it off as everything was perfect and I have a perfect life. But I was very close and I would see that he was not happy. And when he finally snapped and said no more and I don't want more of this life, seeing him become who he really is has been one of the most amazing things I've experienced. And when he would talk to me that way, he would be kind of like ashamed. I know I've changed. I know this, and now I do this, and now I do that. I stopped him, and I told him, "Listen to me. You are not changing. Don't say I am changing. It's that you have never allowed yourself to be you. What's happening now, you're not changing. You are allowing yourself to be who you came to be in this life. Don't apologize because allegedly you're changing. You're not changing. You're allowing yourself to live. And it took you all this time, but you're doing it. It's better late than never. So that's what most people don't talk about, and how since that moment on, because you lived 40 years being somebody else, people are like, oh my God, he just went crazy. Oh my God, what happened? Midlife crisis. No, people, that's not what's going on. And in case you didn't know, there is a psychology behind becoming your true self, and it's called self-actualization. It's from Maslow's self-actualization and Carl Rogers' congruence. It's when your outside matches your inside. So whatever you are reflecting on the outside is what matches you on the inside. And I am such a true believer of that. People are always questioning me, why do I need to put makeup on to go to the supermarket? I'm like, it's not that I need it, it's that I want to. Because when the first thing about becoming yourself is loving yourself and looking at yourself in the mirror and taking care of your hair, your face. You don't want to get surgery on your face, you take care of your face, you do your skincare routine, you exfoliate, you do all the good things that you do to your body. You hydrate, you eat well, you go to the gym. You have to love yourself. That's huge on being yourself. It's not just I'm going to be myself and I'm just not going to care for my body. You got to take care of yourself, because when you decide to become yourself, it's because you love yourself. You want to be unique. Therefore, that comes with love towards yourself. And never ever regret taking the path of becoming yourself. These statistics of how many people in the globe really decide to become their self, that's their true self, really shocked me. Because it says scientifically, only 10 to 15% of people live independently from social approval. And I was like, oh my God, I thought we were more. I'm like, Jesus Christ, are there a lot of fakers out there? Also, when you become yourself and you stop caring about what people think of you, that's when you start losing a lot of people and you get comfortable with being a loner. I've never felt like I needed like so many people in my life. Like, oh my God, like I need to have more than 5 friends in order to be happy. That was never me. I've always had like one very good friend and have had an amazing good friend for a lot of years, and very new ones as well that are my besties. But I've always been a loner. I'm a Virgo, so I love being alone and I enjoy my company. So when we're talking about energy and who we give our energy to, once you know how much you love yourself and how much you are and who you're going to give yourself to, that's when you start pushing people like back. Me personally, I have a way of just like cutting people off of my life. And what I was saying on the previous episode, I might have lived with you for years and you knew me from certain age to certain age, or you were my friend and we used to go out every weekend and we used to hang out and all that. I can tell you 1,000% that I can count with one hand the amount of people that really know me right now. Because that's how much I've changed. And I'm not claiming here like, oh my God, like she's the holy thou than thou or whatever. That's not it. I am not holy at all. I've just evolutioned. I have changed. I love psychology. I have read so many books that I have applied to my life. I love leveling up. I have changed so much. I went from my 20s being drinking, partying, jumping around all the time, blah blah. I can't do that anymore. I would like to be home. I like to bake. I like to make ice cream. I like just being at home and not going out and being in peace in my little bubble. Just at peace. The one that always needed to be jumping around and having fun and whatever, you changed so much. And I, dive my face into books and into podcasts, and I do a lot of research and I have so many notebooks and I'm such a nerd. I haven't changed in that. I am still a nerd, people. Y'all, my people from high school and from middle school, y'all, I'm still the nerd. I'm still that person. Yeah, I'm out of change. I'm showing more. I'm still the nerd. I'm still that girl, okay? But it is so rewarding. It is so, so rewarding to be you, to be seen as unique. Even though sometimes it might happen that when you become yourself, a lot of people, because either they fear you or you're so bold and you're so blunt and they see you like so fearless and all this, that they like start making up like, because it had happened to me, like a lot of people have made like false allegations about me. Oh, she's this and this and that, and she's this person and blah blah. And then when you show up to places, people are just like petrified of talking to you or looking at you, and you're like, And when you realize what's going on, you're like, oh, so I have this power. And it's fun. I'm not gonna lie. It's fun sometimes to play the villain. Show up in places with your poker face. Just like that. When you feel like just laughing, honestly. Life is funny. And the fact that you're changing, that you're doing this, and if you're doing this right now, never give up. I know it's lonely. You want to talk to people, they're not leveling up with you, they're staying behind. You can keep them in your life, but you gotta keep them from afar, because they're like energy vampires. They're gonna suck the life out of you. And you need a lot of energy because you're growing. You're changing. You're questioning things. You're stepping into your power. You're listening to your soul. And it's sad because you're mourning so many people. You're like, you have to let them go. And it's really hard because, the amount of people that I've had to just let go. And the amount of people that don't even realize that I have let go. Why? Because usually I was the one calling. And if I didn't call, they wouldn't call. So they don't even know. They know I have stopped calling, but they haven't called back. Therefore, they don't really know where we're at. Yeah, I do that too. That's not ghosting, because if they're not calling me, I'm not ghosting them. I hope this episode has helped you understand a couple of things. Of course, this is not like a breakthrough here. We're just trying to peel off the layers and see how we can make this together. When they say I've changed and I just finally stopped lying to myself. And that is so liberating, because this isn't a phase. This is who I am, and who've always been underneath all the masks that I had to wear up until I was 24 years old. So this is a question that I want you guys to ask yourself. I have 2 questions for you. Number 1, who would you be if you stopped living for approval? Who would you be if you said, fuck it, I'm gonna be myself no matter what? Number 2, what part of you are you ready to bring back to life? If you could right now, if you dare to right now. Also comment, are you on this path and what's stopping you? Tag a friend who's being misunderstood for evolving. Send this to someone who's finally becoming themselves. And drop a comment, what's the thing you've embraced that others judge you for? Whether it was who you are, how you dress, your hair, the way you talk. It doesn't matter what it is that other people don't like about you, that you just embrace and you said, I don't give a fuck. Period. So, if you made it all the way through, thank you for watching. It is not easy becoming yourself. It's a long and hard road, but it's so freaking worth it. Because you become the cool person without even realizing that you're becoming the cool person just by being yourself. You gotta do what's good for you, what works for you. And stop imitating people. Stop following trends. Let you be the one that is unique, that everybody's looking at and being like, oh my God, like, look at her. She's so different, but so weird, but at the same time, damn, she looks so fine. It feels amazing to be that person. And not only just for the looks, because then when you talk, then they're like, oh my God, she's even more glorious. So keep working on yourself. Never stop. Keep being unfiltered, unapologetic, and unstoppable. Please hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell button. Share this with your people. Thank you for watching, guys. Take care.
And remember, we're unfiltered, unapologetic, and unstoppable. That's that.